What up, everybody, and all you bitches out there? We've got an exciting episode for today. We're going to keep it a little lighter, at least in the beginning. But before we get started, I want to introduce my co-host, Rob. He is obviously here to keep me off that third rail, which I clearly touched a couple weeks ago. And I also have today some special guests. I thought it would be a good light topic since the Eagles won the Super Bowl and we had like 2 million fans out at the parade. Yes, I was there. Who is more annoying, the New England Patriots or the Philadelphia Eagles? Whose fans are more annoying, the New England Patriots or the Philadelphia Eagles? And my two guests today are experts in this field. I want to introduce Zach and Jake. Their last names are being obscured and withheld since they are young and, they have their lives in front of them. But these two kids grew up in New York as huge Patriots fans. They took a lot. First of all, let me say this. They were arrogant motherfuckers, okay? Like, every time they bring up the Patriots, I want to smack the face off of them, okay? So, but then it kind of came around when the Giants beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. These two took, they had a couple tough days. So I view them as experts in this topic. And guys, why don't you guys say hello, and then we'll get right into the first topic.
Hello, how you doing?
All right.
Hey,
You guys are both in Philadelphia now, right?
Now we're back home in New York.
Oh, you're back home. But
Currently in New York,
so we're in Philly for the Super Bowl, correct?
So let me ask. So where in New York?
Westchester.
We're in, Westchester County, New York.
I literally just came back from there today.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah,
We could have done this in person.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're in Westchester.
I don't know, some Whole Foods or something.
Oh.
You don't know.
I don't know. I just drive.
All right. So, boys, you live in Philly, even though you're not there now.
Yeah.
So you've had the opportunity to sort of take in, digest, absorb Philadelphia fandom. You got to experience the Super Bowl both in Boston and in Philadelphia.
You know what, Adam? Can I interrupt for just 1 second? Can we just rewind a little bit? So you're from Philly?
No,
We're from New York. I've been living in Philly the past 5 years, going to school.
Going to school. Okay.
Jake just came and he's been there for the last 3 years now as well.
God. Okay. So you go to school in Philly, but you are New Yorkers.
Yeah. New Yorkers, their dad's a huge Boston fan. They grew up Boston fans. We
were raised correctly, as we call it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care because I'm an Eagles fan.
Which kind of helps answer the question about why people hate Eagles fans.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, let me count the ways. All right, so you two pick who's going to talk first, and I want to hear about your experience in Philly and your takeaway in terms of the two fan bases.
All right, let's not get it twisted though. The Eagles and the Patriots are very different. I don't like how they're being categorized together. People dislike and like the Patriots for two very different reasons from the Eagles. The reason that people don't like the Patriots is because they're the most winning franchise of all time. And it's just the greatest. The reason that Eagles as an organization are disliked is truly just from the fan base. No one really cares about their greatness because they're a great team, but they just don't have the same track record. So there's a big difference between the hatred that comes from the Patriots than the hatred that comes from the Eagles. When I look at it, I think it's more of like how people hate the Chiefs right now. That's how I would compare it to how the Patriots have been hated for years.
So I was going to wait, but I have to jump in. So people hate the Patriots and they hate the Chiefs, not necessarily because they're such winners, but because they're cheaters.
No.
Well, I mean, how many times spying on the opposition? The Chiefs pay off the refs. I mean, guys, come on. I mean, that's a good parallel.
When someone is so great and winning for so long, people just love to come up with narratives. They come up with narratives. They find a way for them to go to sleep at night without crying, and they justify it by coming up with excuses like that. And
you hate us because you ain't us. And I mean, it's as simple as that. I'm now 23 years old and I've seen, was it 13 championship parades in my day?
13.
I mean, like, you know,
how many Super Bowls did the Patriots win?
they have 6. I'm talking about Boston as a whole here.
Okay. Well, that's friggin' great. Okay.
Yeah.
That's just great. But I
It's
mean,
awesome,
it's amazing
right?
how you guys.
But I think you did hit on. I think you hit on something though, because I think the fact people don't like winners, right? People win too much. It's kind of like, all right, somebody else. It's somebody else's turn.
You see it now with the Chiefs, and I feel like the Chiefs have this past dynasty has almost, I felt, opened a window for people to start now appreciating the Patriots dynasty in a way, because now everyone moved on. They hate the Chiefs, and they're now looking back, and there's some sort of, at least what I've been perceiving as, a respect for what there was. And so now that there's something else here, almost as people had preferred that time than now, just because of how pussy the fucking Chiefs are and just how that whole organization is a bunch of scumbags. Exactly. I'm interested to hear your comments on Andy Reid, but we can get to that later. I think going back to your original question, I think the Patriots fans are annoying for the reasons you were talking about earlier, where it was a winning thing, and especially us being in New York, at least for me, I felt like I was on defense mode every day walking into school. You never know what's going to happen. So you always have some stats in your back pocket to pull out or whatever it is. And then, after those 2 tough years, a couple of days of missing school, it's big. Yeah, I'm not going for that. I remember in 4th grade walking out of my class when my teacher put on the Giants parade. Like, we're not here for that. But then when you come to the Eagles, it's like you guys want to be disliked.
Put a song about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking Philly,
nobody likes us. Nobody likes us. We don't care. Right.
But I think that's where the lie
is. On a badge of honor.
Badge of honor there.
No one likes us. We don't care. It's no one likes us, and we want it that way. It's not that you don't care. You guys do care. You want to be disliked.
Do you also think is it safe to say that no one not from Philly or living in Philly is an Eagles fan, but there are, I think, Patriot fans that are not from New York?
Or from Boston or from Massachusetts, rather.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was definitely, with that amount of time, there was a long time for a bandwagon jump, I feel, which from us being from New York, there's definitely been some times where you had to defend, oh, you're from New York, but you're a Boston sports fan. Yeah. I mean, it's convenient to jump on there. Meanwhile, we were born into it. One of my dad's prized possession stories is when I was like 4, Jake was 2. He pissed me off. We both knew curse words, but I needed something worse. So I looked him dead in the eyes, called him the Yankees, and he started bawling his eyes out. It's one of my dad's proudest moments. So that's kind of like, it was engraved in us from the beginning, that there's good guys and there's bad guys. So yeah, but yeah, going back to what you're saying, the Philly is fucking Philly. No one likes us, and we don't care. I think you guys want to be disliked, and I respect it. I like it. All my friends now in Philly are big Eagles fans, and I appreciate it. From a passionate fan to another passionate fan, I enjoy it. I do appreciate it.
You guys, did you go out in Boston like the night the Patriots won, like you did the night the Eagles won, and all that mayhem? Because no.
But I was there for Game 5 of this most recent NBA Finals, so I was there for immediate after the game. That was a great time. We weren't there for any of the Patriots ones. We've attended a couple parades in our heyday, but we were never in Boston for those games. But yeah, I was for the Celtics this past.
You guys should have met me at the parade. By the way, your dad just texted me a link of Donovan McNabb puking in the huddle.
Yeah. He was like, because we were making a joke how if we did this in Philly, I was going to come on with a Hernandez jersey.
Nice, nice, nice.
But I have that with me. So he was asking, do I need anything? I was like, if you got anything from '04, I'll throw it on.
I can say, as like a Patriots fan looking at it, I do think that Eagles fans are more, I don't know if passionate's the right word, but it's kind of like that like underdog, like Rocky story, like in real life. You know what I mean? And like Philly loves like living that story, you know what I mean? And like when after the Super Bowl, like we were in the midst of it, like I was literally scared. Like, wow, like I'm gonna die. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's crazy, you know, like fireworks flashing off, there's bullets whizzing in front of my eyes, like you know what I mean? Like just mayhem.
What? Don't say that. Your mom's gonna see this.
It's crazy. I mean, it's Philly. Like
I've been there for 5 years.
Might have been.
She knows.
It might have been. It's North Philly.
it's like Philly loves the Eagles in like a way that like Boston loves the Patriots. And I think it's a really similar comparison, but like the something about Philly just it's just next level. Like Philly fans.
It's 50 years of sucking. Did you know when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, for the first time in their franchise history, they're above 500? Think about that.
Really?
The first time in the franchise history. They sucked for so long. You guys saw Super Bowl after Super Bowl. I just had misery and more misery. And we had like the best defense in the early 90s, maybe ever, with Jerome Brown and Clyde Simmons and Reggie White. But we had a suck ass owner who wouldn't invest in the team, and we didn't do shit. And then we lost to you guys. And then it took us a long time to get back. Now, you want to talk about Andy Reid? This is what I have to say about Andy Reid.
Yeah.
I was one of the people who ran Andy Reid out of town. And it was all of us wanted him to go because he could not manage the clock. Okay. He lost so many games by calling bad timeouts. And you guys are sophisticated football fans. You understand if you call 2 timeouts early in the third quarter, you're setting yourself up to fucking lose. And this guy blew clock management game after game after game. Look, I'm happy for him. He's going to go down as one of the greatest coaches ever. Apparently, he's a really good guy, although apparently a really, really bad father. That's because Rob, his son, is a habitual drunk, ran somebody over. I think he had another kid who died from pain pill overdose.
Yeah, we've all done that, but
I mean, yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's where I'm coming from. I don't feel bad about running him out of town. And something happened between Philly and KC because he stopped doing it. Maybe Ethan hypnotized him. I don't know, but he stopped doing it. And like I said, going to go down as one of the best coaches in league history.
Staying on the topic of coaches, quick question. Week 4 of this year, where were you on Sirianni? Because I know the tide in Philly was that, they wanted a public execution.
I mean, dude, that's so much talent, and they couldn't fucking get their heads out of their ass. But a lot of that was obviously trying to throw the ball more than they were running the ball. And obviously once they started, they were never a true running team until week 5 of this year.
Yeah, okay. I think like Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback, but I truly think Saquon Barkley saved the team.
100%. Like I'm sure you guys haven't watched all like the little snippets in video, but virtually every player went up to him. I mean, Hurts did and said, "This is you," and he's like, "No, it's all of us." And he said, "No, you don't understand the difference you made. Like we were here and we couldn't get it done." And even in the Super Bowl, like he didn't do shit, but he made the defense play the run so that they could throw the ball. I mean, yes.
Yeah.
Did you know that no NFL team signed up for Hard Knocks this year? They're doing it after the Giants. They're doing it with Belichick and where is he? South Carolina?
UNC.
North Carolina.
Yeah, so he's doing Hard Knocks this year, which will be awesome.
I know what I love though is that I feel like Bill Belichick after like he like retired as an NFL coach, like he's like you're starting to actually see like a different side of him. You know what I mean? Like I feel like he was like, like you wouldn't hear anything from him. Like if he was in the NFL and someone came up to him at a TV show, he would spit in their face. You know what I mean? But now you're starting to see like a different side of him. And I'm biased. I love Bill Belichick.
Well, I saw him really lighten up. He was on that show with Ocho Cinco and Chris Long, and like he was fun. He was enjoyable to listen to. Not to mention, I don't know if you saw it, but on Peyton and Eli's Monday Night Show, when they showed Taylor Swift,
it's like, oh, yeah. No, he's starting to have some fun. Yeah, he's doing that. He's doing like McAfee and stuff. It's good to see him start to, get a smile.
He's got a 22-year-old girlfriend.
Oh my God! So I have a kid at UNC, so we're pretty pumped that he's coming there. And you guys also got Drake May, who had a pretty good first season, right?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to
type of quarterback you build a team around, but he's good.
I can't imagine though being like an 18-year-old football player coming out of high school and just being thrown into like a Bill Belichick run team. Like I feel like college was a good buffer between high school and Belichick, but going straight from high school to Belichick, that's going to be interesting to see what those players can do in that situation.
It will. There's all these Julian Edelman and Gronk podcast videos that I see, and like Edelman talking about being a rookie. We're just like the first 2 or 3 years on that team. Jesus.
Yeah.
Obviously he had the talent for them to keep him, but he tells crazy stories about the players abusing the shit out of him and Belichick just talking to him like a fucking moron.
Yeah.
But look, he turned into an awesome player. You think he goes to the Hall of Fame?
I think
Edelman?
Like record wise, like talking like accolades. I don't know if he fits that description. I think his Super Bowl MVP really is going to be a big boost for him. But I think like his on the field play, what is he like second all time playoff receptions, playoff yards behind Jerry? I think he deserves it. Do I think he'll get it? Probably not. Same reason why he's never been to a Pro Bowl. Like he's been a Pro Bowl caliber wide receiver, but like he's a 5'11", seventh round white dude quarterback from Kent State.
Jew.
Well, the way he describes it, he's Jewish.
Yeah, that's fine. He's got the blood.
Yeah.
Hamas would consider him a Jew.
Here we go.
Oh, man. No Hamas this week. And next week, we're only talking about Zelensky, Trump. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Lots there.
My God.
Excited for that episode.
I do urge you three and anyone else watching this to go on YouTube and watch the entire 50-minute press conference, because it's a very different thing if you watch all 50 minutes versus the last 10 and a half. But anyway, boys, you have anything else to say about football, the Eagles or the Patriots before we move on to, I guess, a deeper topic?
Now let's get into it.
Are you guys going back to back now? Now that you got one, you going back to back?
So I don't want to say that. I think that they're real. So I'm very superstitious. Okay. I think that they're well positioned, but look, it's all about injuries and how healthy you are going into the end of the season, right?
Yeah, I thought the Lions could really do it, and then they had, I think it was 24 defensive players on IR or something like that, which is like their entire first and second string defense.
I think if our defense stays healthy, the league is going to have another big problem. I mean, they held the Chiefs to 23 yards in the first half of the Super Bowl.
As soon as that first drive, that pass interference call on AJ Brown, we all looked around the room like,
here we go.
I know your heart stunk.
Stank.
Yeah.
I was like, the fix is in.
Yeah. But then I remember looking at my roommate and being like, I am excited to see what this defense can do today, because the ball was going to be won on the defensive end of that game. And, they really did that. They really were able to lock that down.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Carter could be the best defensive player in the league next year.
Well, Josh Sweat was unblockable.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is that you have to double Carter.
Mhm.
So then if you have athletic ends, they can just fucking beat the guy, with the swim move, and then they're on the court. Dude, that defense was so fucking good. So the answer is, if the defense stays healthy, they should be in every game all the way to the Super Bowl.
How many of those guys are new players?
So many.
You have like a pretty new team, right?
They had
last couple of years,
like their safety, Quinyon Mitchell. Is he a corner or the safety? In any event, he gave up like 3 touchdowns all year, Rob, rookie. The kid Cooper DeJean, rookie. And then
is Reed a rookie, or is he
Blankenship? No, it's a second or third year.
Yeah.
And then they brought in guys who the league didn't want, and they put them in, and they turned them into fucking studs. So that's the GM. He is
Howie,
the man. Yeah. So like for a long time, I said, "In Howie we trust," but then like last year, I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" And then they get Saquon, and they're 2-2 after 4 games. Everybody in Philly was like, "This is fucking crazy." But the thing is that Kellen Moore's philosophy is to throw the ball down the field, and he had to stop that. Right? They put the kibosh on that, and they're like, run the ball 30 times and see what happens. All right, let's move on. That was good, guys. Most of the conversation will be on that, but I wanted to, since we have some Utes, Rob, and I am thoroughly frustrated with the general population of young people in this country. I mean, this started in 2007, okay? I had my first experience with a soft kid. And I'm not talking about how fat he was or that he wore a whale belt, but he was very entitled. But this kid, he wouldn't do shit. Rob, we got the shit hazed out of us, right? Didn't it make you tougher and better? And I'm not talking about physical abuse. I'm like, go to the store and do this, right? So this is a great story. I still call Joe from the GW Deli for like horse tips for like the Kentucky Derby and Preakness. Okay. So like when I was on Wall Street, that was a great call. Like every Friday before a race, I was like, here's the call from my savant horse picker. Right. So I said to this kid, here's $100. Okay. And here's my bets. Go around and see if anybody wants to place bets too. And then we're in Connecticut, go to OTB and place the bets. He went to the boss and complained. And the boss called me into his office and he's like, you're going to have to split the winnings I was like, Kurt, fuck you and fuck him. So that was my first experience of soft losers. And I think that he probably was an early victim of participation trophies, which I view as really the beginning of the end for kids, because you don't learn to lose.
We're all winners.
Yeah, syndrome. You're not all winners. Not today. Go home. Your mom and dad will tell you you're a winner. Okay. But on the playing field, you fucking lost. And in life, you don't all win. You lose. So, boys, young men, I should say, what's up with your fucking generation? Because you guys ain't soft, and you're not lazy, and you're not entitled.
I have a couple thoughts, Jake. Do you mind if I start?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so yeah, I think the participation trophies definitely gets like the bulk of it. Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, you showed up, so you deserve this." I think that's definitely part of it, but I do think another thing is, at least I feel like the philosophy from different generations is you want to make life for your next generation better than yours, easier, or whatever it is. And I think that your generations before you guys were able to get into the workforce quite easily compared to now. Things were a lot cheaper then. I think life at that it was very different, and I think media and stuff has a lot to do with this. So the first thing to that, like you said, like, oh, your parents say, oh, go to the store, go do this. Growing up, like, I don't know if it's like here, whatever, like, I feel like your parents would be like, all right, it's the morning, go outside, door closes, we'll see you when the sun comes down type of thing.
I was growing up. It was glorious.
Yeah, but I'm assuming Ethan and Jonah weren't like that.
No, but Jonah would go out in the woods for 4 hours hiking, you know. Ethan,
but like growing up, would you be like, all right, go to the store?
No. I would tell them to get out, go do something. But yes, it's different.
Or especially like in a city, like in Philadelphia, like I know, like you're not gonna be like, oh, take subway, go a couple blocks, grab whatever, come back. Like that's like I feel like also like safety has been reevaluated, and that's like a whole nother thing where there's been more of like a babying on our generation in comparison to previous ones, just based on that type of fact. And then going to something that I'm assuming you're gonna talk about, but I'm just gonna jump into it, is with media and stuff today, our generation, I feel like, is just more aware of things that are going on in the world, whether it's injustices or wherever it is. And people feel like because of the internet that their opinion is really important because of Twitter and whatever it is that you could just say, just put whatever you want out into the world. So I think you take those factors of not only just being aware of all this stuff and then feeling that your opinion matters. I feel like both of those things put together really is a big driver for the things that you're seeing.
Well, just to hop in real quick, I feel like one of the biggest things is that now with like social media and stuff today, like if you don't have like all your screws on right in your head and you go on social media, you're gonna think that like the world's ending, like everything's terrible because all you see is terrible, terrible, terrible. So that will sway your opinion and make you go crazy. And you see stuff like, well, this is a little sidetrack. I was walking through Philly just last week, was walking through Philly. I missed the bus. So I had to walk a few blocks to get to the next bus stop. A cyber truck pulls out of the gas station. The guy in front of me just looks over, sticks up the middle finger, and spits right on the windshield and just walks away. And I just thought to myself, I was stunned, but I really thought to myself, like, what did he see to like make him do that? Because you know what I mean? Like, I feel like certain things that people see on social media, like, it like really like runs their life like on a daily basis, like where they go around, like what they do, what they believe in, you know what I mean? And I feel like that just goes into like how people are raised because they see things and it just not the way you intake information, I feel like is just isn't the same nowadays.
No.
Did the license plate say Elon on it by any chance?
That's what I was going to say. It's definitely
crazy
because of Elon Musk.
100%. It was crazy. It was crazy. He just spit on the Cybertruck and walked away.
I've had people spit on my car before.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me.
Just saying. It's happened. I remember once in DC it happening too. Might have been the first time. All right, so what's up with the useful idiots on your campus? Are they there? Do they protest? Have you seen them in your classes?
Yeah.
There's definitely been protests on campus. They like died down though. I'd say that was definitely like a last year type of thing. I haven't seen anything this year, but again, I'm not on campus as often. But yeah, they're there. Yeah.
One big thing I don't get is that I may just be uneducated and you could tell me if I'm wrong, but isn't wearing like a turban like that's cultural appropriation, right? Like if like, it is, right? I mean, I thought that was like a big topic that like that's a big no, you can't do it.
It is.
It's okay to wear a turban and stuff. Like I might just wear one too. I don't know. I mean,
it's not a turban, but it is a Rob, what would you call it? Like a geographic or a regional dress.
We're talking about the
keffiyeh. I think schools should ban masks unless there's a fucking government mandate.
Yeah, nah. Like at this point, if you're still wearing a mask, like you creep me out. Like there's some, you know what I mean? Because like what's the purpose of it? It's because at this point, like it's an excuse to say that you're wearing it for COVID at this point. You're trying to cover
100%. It's
covering your identity.
Right, but Adam, you're not talking about the COVID mask. You're talking about the.
No, I'm talking about both. Okay? Because oftentimes, like now, pay attention. These fucking morons, I mean, they are morons, but they cover their face with a mask and then they put the keffiyeh on so that they can't really be identified.
If you're so supportive of a cause and it's so ingrained into the way you think, then what's the need to like be proud of it? Show who you are. You know what I mean? Like if I support something, I'm not gonna go in a mask. I'm gonna come and be like, yes, this is what I support. This is me.
Yeah, so I don't understand necessarily the specific reasons why different groups wear what they wear, why they cover their faces, what whatever. I guess I appreciate if it's of for religious reasons or whatever. But to your point, I think you're going to a protest where things are potentially going to get violent. People need to see who's there.
I agree.
Listen, if you're chanting Intifada revolution, you should not have a mask on, okay? Because you have strong convictions if you're marching and screaming that in America. It is catchy, though.
Well, I feel like a lot of people don't.
There is no other solution.
I feel like a lot of people don't know what it means, and I feel like that's kind of, you know what I mean? Like I want to get people.
So that goes back to the youth and like how narrow.
It goes back to online. If
do you think it goes back to being?
It goes back to that. It goes back to like reading a headline and your brain telling you, all right, you read the article, you know what's going on. It's very headline oriented. I feel like just like the way
people 12-second tidbits on TikTok.
Yeah, that's very like that's how people consume the news. And like, even for me, like a lot of the times, like I'll see something like, oh yeah, that's interesting, but I don't put any other thought or research like into it, and it just is what it is. But yeah, I think going back to what we were talking about earlier with like the whole split in like generational stuff is there's just like I think like a lot of people like it's just two completely different worlds. Like the world that we grew up in, the world you guys grew up in, like they're just like not even remotely the same.
No, 100%. Let me ask you guys this, because this one drives me crazy personally. Luigi. I'm sorry. Like, explain that one to me.
Somebody. Yeah, I don't know when it became cool to kill people in broad daylight. I don't know when it became cool to support terrorists like that. You know what I mean? It's getting crazy, but I mean, I don't know what the guy did, but I don't think it's cool to kill anyone, especially in broad daylight, especially with a silencer. If you're gonna kill him, at least do it. You know what I mean? Like you don't got to cover it up. Like,
well, it's cowardly and it's crazy, obviously.
Come behind.
Yeah, what's even worse though is just
at least tap him on the shoulder and he could turn around and then do it. But you know what I mean? Like
this guy sounds like he's killed people before.
Me?
Know how to do it. Yeah, tap him on the shoulder.
He should have challenged him to a duel.
Yeah, are you talking from experience?
No, I mean I'm a lover. I'm not a killer. I'm not a fighter. You know what I mean?
Are.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think I don't know. I just didn't know like when it became like a trend to support murderers, to support terror. You know what I mean? Like
so I'm probably I would consider myself to be probably one of the least judgmental people in the world. And when I see especially young people, because I think it's mostly young people that are out there, free Luigi, like you're so fucking stupid.
Murdered someone.
Yeah. And I think it's a group of people within 10 years. Maybe within 5 years of age. It's the craziest thing.
I think that there's obviously murder, that's frowned upon. That shouldn't happen. But I think that there is like a deeper message though of these insurance companies fucking people over.
100%.
And just like absolutely ruining people's lives and just leaving them with like bills paying these insurance companies all their lives and stuff. And it's just like they never are held to their end, or like if something happens, like they feel invincible until they're not. And so I feel that killing him or anyone that's not good. But I do think that there was a certain message sent through that entire industry when that happened, that like some people, like you can step on them, but they'll get up and they'll step right back. And I think that it was I think it was like it was supposed to be like this cultural movement type of thing that I think could have been done better if, he wasn't killed and things were like done a different way. Again, I don't have an answer for this. I think it was probably like a last resort type of thing. I'm not sure if he had an answer for that. If so, I'm sure he would have tried something else. But I don't know. I just feel like these corporations, these insurance companies, these big, massive industry leaders have been kind of doing whatever they want and leaving a lot of the common folk behind. And I'm not saying people should die, but I'm saying like there should be a way to hold them accountable for the things that they're doing to the average folk. And
It's called jail, not death.
Yeah, you can say
Yeah, how
jail.
about kidnapping?
Yeah, but like
Ransom.
how would they go to jail?
Christmas vacation?
Like swimming with sharks. But
Yeah.
actually, so I'm going to push back and agree with you at the same time, because so I happen to see the company that I work for actually uses United Healthcare, and I see the claims, and I see claims getting paid like crazy.
Yeah.
And I just wonder how much of it is kind of what you were saying about the internet and, information that's being thrown out there. Adam, you and I talk about this all the time. How much of this information is verified?
Yeah.
Very easy to go out there and say UHC doesn't pay claims. And by the way, I'm not like a, champion of the insurance industry, nothing like that. But I just happen to have some personal experience with that company. And from my perspective, they've actually performed pretty well. Now, it's not cheap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's so expensive. We had to pick between two health insurers, and Jesus, UNH was so much more expensive for essentially the same level of care. Now, in doing our homework and research and trying to keep this fact-based, I did see a ton of doctor office professionals talking about how this patient desperately needs this treatment and it getting rejected, and this patient and this patient and this patient. So I'd say it, as I don't want to say as many as they pay, they deny, but I saw enough different professionals, medical professionals, office staff talking about it. I mean,
yeah, and like we're talking about like killing and murder, that's like obviously frowned upon, but let's like, yeah, like what you're saying, someone needs surgery or a medical procedure desperately and it's getting denied and that person passed away. Like, how is that? Like, they didn't pull the trigger, but I mean, like,
we could all agree something has to be done, but it should not be murder. And on top of it, it shouldn't be celebrated that someone got murdered either. That's just my view. But I do 100% agree that people are getting screwed over and something has to be changed. And I don't know what the right answer is either.
Yeah, so I think one thing that comes to mind is, more information, actual factual information should be put out there. More transparency in that industry should come out of this, and so people can actually look at this and say, yeah, like these guys are bad actors, or someone's just passing around bad information, or what. But yeah, and by the way, look, this guy did not reject everybody's claims.
No, right. Sure he did.
So, reject.
Yeah. He's like Monty Burns.
Yeah.
100%.
All right, gentlemen, we are about to get cut off. We're approaching our time limit. So I want to thank both of you for participating.
Thank you.
There was a lot of concern in your house and my house about how this would go. So thank you. I think it was excellent. Rob, as always, my friend, thank you for your time, your commitment, and your effort.
Of course, great to meet you guys. Thanks for your perspective.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Rob.
Last week, signing off, I know I said we were going to deal with mental health. I think that's still on the table, but it's. I think we need to resolve a few things before we delve into that. Next week we will talk and dig into Zelensky, Trump, the fiasco from yesterday. What happened? We'll get through the whole 50 minutes, not just the last 10 minutes of the press conference, and ultimately what we think will happen. With that, Rob, you're going to play us out.
Out. The best podcast in the world.
Later, bitches.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Thank you.
That was good.
This is the end, beautiful friend.